Hello, everyone. I am so excited to introduce you to my first guest of Nourish a Child's Dream Art Gala Chat. I will be interviewing artists, performers, and some of those that you'll see and that will be headlining our event on September 23rd. So, Annisa Glover-Briggs is my first guest. So excited to introduce you to her. She's the CEO and Chief Designer of Janelle Creative Studio. Welcome, Annisa.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you so much for participating in our event, for being with us here today. And before we get started with this chat, I just wanted to share with everyone the story of how we met. I firmly believe that everything happens for a reason, and us meeting was meant to be truly. One day, I was walking into one of my favorite restaurants called Yali's African Restaurant. For those of you in the Buffalo, New York area, make sure you check them out. They're in Kenmore Avenue. They have delicious food. So I walked into the restaurant and my eyes immediately zoomed over because this handbag this girl had in her hand was just beautiful. Amazing artwork on the bag, quotes, very inspirational imagery. And I had to find out where she got it from. So I approached Annisa and asked her, "Hey, where'd you get your bag? I love the artwork, it's beautiful." And lo and behold, she said she made the artwork herself, which I was blown away because it's so amazing. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But that is how we met. And it's so funny because I was looking for unique artists that had unique skills, talents, and services that they offer to participate in our event. So, Annisa, again, thank you so much for being willing to participate in the event. And we'll discuss a little bit more what that will look like. But could you share with everyone who you are? Talk to us a little bit about your business and how it came to be.
Yes, ma'am. So, of course, my name is Anissa. I am more than a job, more than my title in terms of being a sister, a twin sister, an aunt, a daughter. And I say all these things to say that the person that goes into the business, it really manifests itself into every part of it. I'm very thorough in terms of like my artwork and what I like to portray. I want to be able to, with my business and with my company, I wanted to be able to showcase different, different forms of art and different backgrounds and be able to have people see themselves and feel represented in the artwork I create
Hmm.
and to be able to find services and to provide services for people that aren't able to really, find that within, the design field. I saw that there was, with going into my college career, I saw there was a very small percentage of people, BIPOC artists, especially with Black female artists that are really outside, really, you know, getting recognized for their art. And I said, I want to do something different and I wanted to, start my own business. And I want the artwork to be able to have the opportunity to, help celebrate people and celebrate themselves, to encourage and empower people to celebrate themselves in every aspect of who they are.
That is so beautiful. And I have to say, that is one of the things that immediately, I felt that pull, uh, not only because of your work, but your personality as well. I mean, you have such a sweet personality. You're such a sweet human being in person. And just talking to you, I could sense that, there's a level of really kindness and that passion really to empower others. And that's something that's so innate in me and something that I have passion for as well, is empowering others and just helping others thrive and doing what I can to see that through. So, thank you for following your passion and for following your calling because you didn't even have to say a word that day in the restaurant. Your art spoke for itself just by the words that you have written on the handbag. Trust me, one of those phrases on the bag surely can be a pivotal moment for someone to help them through something. You just never know the impact of how your art, right, can really touch someone. So, so happy you took the time and followed your dream and your passion to start your business. So I'm super excited about that. So speaking about pivotal moments, was there a pivotal moment in time as you were thinking about this business and Janelle Creative Studio? that really set it off for you and made you realize, you know what? This is what I want to do, and this is the business I want to create.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, goodness. Where I don't even know where to begin. So this is at this time, enter if not post COVID, still figuring stuff out. This is when I just got back home from being at FIT, and I was working different jobs, and then it seemed like every job I walked into or every room I walked into, I was not meant for it. Things
Mm,
would not work out, things would just go haywire, or I would just walk out feeling so drained and so tired and exhausted. And I just remember there was like one moment in time, I just remember being at a point where I literally felt my own spirit outside my own body telling me, you're not supposed to be doing this. You're not supposed to be here today.
yeah.
You're not in good company right now. You're not around people that want you or support you.
Mm.
And at the time, funny enough, it actually coincided with the story of this particular handbag. I bought the bag, to have something for work. And as I bought the bag, I was just like going through the motions. I'm looking at the bag. I'm like, am I really at this point right now? Is this what it is? Is this all it is? So there was one night I know I went out with a couple friends and I came back home and I noticed there was a spot on the bag. I'm like, oh God, now what am I gonna do?
This new bag has a spot on it. What?
Yeah, I was like, oh man, now I gotta figure out how to get it off. So I'm looking through YouTube and TikTok trying to figure out how to get the spot off. And I ended up going a little heavy handed and I actually removed some of the pigment off the bag. I'm like,
What
right.
have I done?
What
Yeah.
am I gonna do now? And I already spent the money on it. I'm like, there's no way I'm about to throw out a Kate Spade bag. You crazy?
Right, right.
And
Yeah.
I told myself, I might as well paint on it at this point. So as I started painting it and painting it, it didn't really come to me at that time. And I put it away for a while, put it down for a while. And as I'm going further and further into the development of my business, something just told me one day I just could not fall asleep. And something told me one day to just go and, you know, pull out the bag and paint on it. But the exercise this time was to work through any flaws or imperfections or errors that will occur with
Mm.
creating the bag. And I said, you know what? This, I had to work through this. I have to figure this out. And it may not be perfect, but it's definitely going to be mine. It's going to be something meaningful to me.
Right. Wow.
And I had like an image in my mind of what I wanted to create. Did it come out exactly the way I wanted it? Of course not. But I love it so much. And I love it even better than what I came up with. I'm
It
like,
is beautiful. No one would ever realize or know that, perhaps you had something else in mind for that bag, but it is such a beautiful creation. And, like I said before, everything happens for a reason. Everything seems to happen for a reason, right? You got this new bag and it got nicked. And a lot of times, maybe certain negative things may happen in life, but beautiful results can come from it. It just depends on how we take the situation, how we react to the situation. So I'm glad that you turned that into something positive. And maybe this is a great time to actually show the bag, if you would like to, so everyone can see what we're talking about. Yeah, so if you'd like to speak to that a little bit and share with everyone, I'm like, just look at this bag, guys. It is gorgeous. It's beautiful. All the different colors, the artwork, the quotes that you have on there. Would you mind reading one of the quotes that you have on the bag?
yes, I have here on the side, you have the power to shape your own destiny. And that
Beautiful.
really does speak true to fruition. Like you really do have the power to create the life that you want and that you deserve all within yourself. No one can grant you that power. You have it within you. It's just a matter of going after it.
That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. And like I said, that's one of the things that really draw me to your bag set aside the beautiful artwork, but all the inspirational quotes and sayings on the bag, it's just so gorgeous. And I do want to mention for everyone watching, just so you know, Annisa takes orders, so you can get a custom handbag for yourself. I already placed my order, so I'm so excited to see what you come up with, Annisa, but you're able to submit your order and she can create a tailored bag for you. Annisa, would you mind just sharing the process with everyone and what that process looks like as far as your consultation?
Yes. So I have it on my website where, I have a contact page, and from there you would just submit like a little brief statement. Well, in the caption, write pre-order. And you'll just give me like a brief synopsis of what you will want with the bag, try to get an idea of quotes, imagery, just giving me some idea of, who you are and what you would see for yourself, and like being able to interpret that and being able to manifest that within the bag. Like, I want people to be able to walk into a room and really feel like themselves and feel authentic in themselves, in the sense where there's nothing about you that you're going to change. They're either going to like it or they're not going to like it. For me,
Mm-hmm.
for example, and I'm so honest, where every room I've always walked into with my own natural hair, or I've always walked in with my curly hair. Am I going to change it? Of course not. Because you're either going to accept it or you're not going to accept it. If you don't,
Right,
maybe I'm
right,
not meant for you, and that's okay.
right. Absolutely.
And with
Absolutely.
the process, also, I go as far as using high quality leather paints, and I go through a very intense like like a draftsmanship process where I use multiple layers of tracing paper, multiple pencils and pens, like trying to make sure I get the design right. And granted, if you see it in person, it's gonna look crazy, but it makes sense.
It makes sense, right? For the process. And what I appreciate, to share a little bit of the process I went through when the two of us met, Annisa really takes the time to get to know you, who you are, what makes you tick, what you're passionate about, what inspires you, and, capturing the essence of who you are as an individual. So she can then convey that through the handbag. So, like I said, I'm beyond excited to see what you'll come up for me, Annisa, and I'll be parading that bag all over the place. And what's hilarious about the bag is that the bag Annisa had and just showed everyone is an exact bag that I have at home. So again, just going back to everything happens for a reason. We were truly meant to meet. So I've got the same bag, and that's the bag that she's going to paint for me. So I'm beyond excited. So moving on to the next question. Thank you so much for sharing that. So I like to ask folks that partner with us or get involved with volunteering or whatever it might be with ICA. So why ICA? Why did you decide to say yes to participate in this event and to partner with us?
Yes. Oh gosh. Upon like our first initial meeting, I was like, oh my gosh, like the energy, the vibes, the light that you radiate outwards and that you were able to shine on me. I'm like, I have to learn more about this with ICA, with International Child Advancement. I was so moved and impassioned by the work that you guys do for children, especially children in the Republic of Congo. And I feel like it's such a beautiful country that does not get its flowers the way that it's supposed to, or the shine that it's meant to have. And
Mhm.
I remember with growing up, I used to go to the Salvation Army as well, and my family didn't have a lot of money, and we benefited off the work, or off of off the work of nonprofits and charities. And I thought of it in a way where, I saw myself as one of those kids back when I was younger. And I said, what are some ways in which I could be able to help empower other kids and be able to pay it forward in that way? I
Mhm.
did little things here and there. I remember back when I was like 15 or 16, I used to go to like a local boys and girls club, and with my aunt we used to have a girls empowerment program where the girls would sit down, we'll have journaling sessions, and we will talk about like some things that inspire them, some things that scare them, or some things that that they're going through. And just that level of passion and craftsmanship and the love that goes into a nonprofit, especially with a nonprofit like yours with international child advancement. I was all in. I'm like, I need to figure out more about this. How do I become a part of this? Especially with your upcoming art gala with some of the artwork that you showed me of the children so far. I'm like,
Oh man,
please.
it's incredible, right? It's
I
incredible
was
and
I was
so
blown
excited for
away.
people to see it. Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness. Like I have to meet some of these children. I need whether it be FaceTime or in person, I
Yeah.
need to see them.
Yes, yes, they're so incredible. Thank you so much for sharing that and for sharing part of your story too. And I definitely see the connectivity there and your willingness to take that experience that you had and now, given where you are today, being able to reach back and help, right? Help kids that are in need right now. That means a great deal. So to share with everyone at the art gala, Annisa will be painting a handbag. It will be a Kate Spade bag. I'm super excited. And that handbag will be auctioned off at the event. So do not miss it. Get your ticket today. You want to be able to bid on this bag. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be amazing. And part of the proceeds from the handbag will be donated to ICA so that we can together empower, elevate, and educate the children, underserved kids here in Buffalo and in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So, as you know, the theme of our event is Nourish a Child's Dream. Through this event, we aim to award 2 scholarships to local underserved Buffalo, New York students. We'll also make a donation to Buffalo Public School number 84 at ECMC. In the DRC, what we're going to do is purchase bunk beds, chairs, tables that the orphans desperately need. And most importantly, we're going to cover K through 12 tuition for orphans in the DRC. Education is fee-based in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The government is making ways to provide free education for kids in primary school. That is still in progress. Not all children are at the point yet where they're able to enroll and get a free education. So that is where we hope to nourish these children's dreams, is to help them advance towards a future of self-sufficiency, a future where their dreams can become a reality. If they dream to become a lawyer, a doctor, an artist, or whatever it is, that we can help them with that journey. We can help them along the way. So I have a two-part question for you. With that in mind, number one, what is one piece of advice you can share with youth as they navigate their education, as they plan for the future, and really just life in general? What piece of advice do you have?
Yes, ma'am. So in terms of advice I can share in terms of just that beginning part with your education, planning the future, and just overall life in general. There's one quote that I live by and that I remember wholeheartedly. It is as follows: the inner reality creates the outer form. And with that meaning, you are the manifestation of everything that you embody within yourself and everything that you surround yourself with. So
Mm,
the friends that you keep around you, the places that you hang around, what you take the time to do during your off time, or even like what intend to study, the inner reality creates the outer form. And with that, you have to make the time for yourself to decide what you want. Only
mm.
you can hold the pen for your life and for your life story. No one can hold that for you.
That is so good, so deep. And I tell my kids that all the time. It is so important to take into consideration, right, what you intake, not just, nutrition wise, but what are you reading? What are you watching? Who are you surrounding yourself with? And all of that is so important. That is deep. Thank you so much. I love that. I appreciate you sharing that. And then another piece of this, so we address the youth. So again, thinking about nourishing one's dream, as we're both entrepreneurs, thinking about other entrepreneurs that maybe currently have a dream that they haven't necessarily put down on paper, or they have a dream of starting a business that they have put it down on paper, but they just, I don't know, something is stopping them. They may be afraid or they may lack the resources or whatever it might be. So, what is a piece of advice you have for those aspiring entrepreneurs that have that dream to kick off their business?
Oh, yes. First off, this might sound cheesy. Never stop dreaming.
Mm-hmm.
Never, ever stop dreaming. Never stop creating. Never stop dreaming. I know I keep saying that, but it really is, it really does come true. And another quote that say in relation to that is to write the vision and make it plain.
Mm-hmm.
I have been an avid journaler for 10 plus years at this point. And it's so interesting now how I can look back at some of those journals and look back at everything I've been able to do in the last 10 years. Like I can't even say I'm the same person I was 10 years ago or even, 3 years ago at that fact. And, you know, I have different journals for everything. I have a power manifestation journal. I have a business journal.
I
I
love
have
it.
an art journal. Like so
Yes.
many different journals I keep on top of. And it really does help to write things down. Because then you
Mm-hmm.
can look back on it. I'm like, and then be like, oh, I finally got to be able to do it.
Yeah.
A good example with this, I remember I was in my second to last semester of college, and my professor, what was it? It was like our first assignment. He had us sit down and write down, what we will want to get out of, that semester. So goals that we had in terms of meeting people, different projects, um, different things that we will want to do for ourselves. So that, we got to, write everything down. And, me sitting there thinking, oh, this is probably not going to happen. Or how am I going to make this work? 6 months later, I promise you, 6 months later, I came back to my professor and I told him, can you imagine? You would not be able to believe I've been able to cross off half the thing, like more than half the things off this list. Like,
Beautiful.
especially with
Yeah.
at the time I was going to I was going into the field of children's book illustration,
Ah,
and
yeah.
I got to write. And for me, I wrote down like a lot of the people I wanted to meet, like with
Mhm.
different authors and illustrators. Would you believe 6 months later I got to meet every single one of those people off that list?
Wow. Wow. That's incredible.
I was shocked. I'm
Amazing.
like, you know what? It really does help to write things down.
It most certainly does. And, I'm glad you bring that up because I've I love to journal and that's something I've always done growing up as a kid. That was huge. It was a great de-stressor, but it was also a great way to write down my craziest dreams. So what I wish I could accomplish someday and hope to accomplish and continue that into adulthood. And so for all of you out there, I would encourage you, get a journal and just start jotting down those ideas. I love that. And I love that you have different journals for different things.
Yes, and with every journal, especially for my artists out there, listen, we're always going to have a sketchbook, always. But always make sure you have a journal that you just write in to have in terms of your artist journey. I
Mm.
would say I got this in the beginning of the summer and I wrote down things I wanted to do or things I wanted to participate in, or, I just wanted to stay busy. And now I look back on it now, I'm just like, wow, like I'm really busy this year. This is great.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing your journey to entrepreneurship, your background, why ICA, why you decided to partner with us. And again, as a reminder to everyone, Annisa will be live painting a handbag, a Kate Spade handbag at our event that will be auctioned off. And just to share with everyone again regarding our event. So our Nourish a Child's Dream Art Gala will be held on September 23rd at Aqua Restaurant. We hope to see you there. Get your ticket. Don't want to miss this event. We are going to have artwork by children at Buffalo Public School 84 ECMC and also artwork from orphans in the Democratic Republic of Congo. These are children at the orphanage that we support. And also, we'll have another artist by the name of Jess Tomaino. She's going to be interviewed later on this week, so catch her interview as well. She'll share her journey. We're also going to have a performance by concert violinist and maestro Henry Star Muhammad. Super excited about his performance. We're going to include a fashion meets art segment. You have to be there to find out more. We'll have food, silent auction, and an after party. So you guys don't want to miss it. We'll have some amazing Afro beats. We'll have a good time. So please join us. Get your ticket today. So once again, Annisa, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you so much for participating in our upcoming gala. And we really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. This is the opportunity of a lifetime, and I'm just so grateful that you would want to partner with me. I'm just so happy to be part of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And we're super excited. And again, guys, get your ticket today. Do not miss this event. All right. Take care.